We've got a mystery for you today. The Mezzo Wore Mink by Mark Schweizer. I laughed all the way through this book. It helps if you're a church musician, if you sing or play in a church, and if you know anything about classical music. This will have you rolling in the aisles. I liked it so much, I showed it to several people in my choir.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
They also have on the webpage just a bunch of different jokes, and they were interesting to say the least.
So the guy who is the protagonist in the story, and this is book 6 in the Liturgical Mysteries series. The protagonist is the chief of police, and he's the organist and choir master in the local Episcopal church of a small town in North Carolina, somewhere around Boone. And I've only read this one. I'm going to read the others, though. But this church apparently has a long history of finding dead bodies all around. So the latest dead bodies, there's 2 of them in this book. So one person is found hanging from the belfry, and another person is found in one of those mazes that you do for contemplating. They have these mazes that you go through, and there's some religious significance to them. And this particular maze is attached to a Christian coffee shop and massage parlor. Now you have to take this with a big old grain of salt. It's very tongue-in-cheek and it's a little bit silly, but I love it. It's the best humor ever. And while he's telling, while our narrator is telling the story, our protagonist is also writing his own detective novel with just the worst prose ever, with characters named things like Barbara Seville and Ave Maria Grazie Plena. Yeah, and those are musical jokes. One of the instruments involved in the crimes that happen is a crumhorn, which is a terrible sounding bassoon kind of thing. And if you want to hear one, go to tbooksandmore.com. I wrote an article about this book, a book review, and I included a reference where you can find out what a crumhorn sounds like.
And then also, go look at some old operas while you're there. Mama got into it and she started watching old operas, and we ended up with a very badly sung Pirates
Okay, what
song.
she's talking about is Mark Schweizer has a website. On the publisher's website, he's got a section with his musings. And he recorded some send-ups of, well, for instance, Gilbert and Sullivan did the Pirates of Penzance, and he did the Pirates Liturgy.
Yeah.
So they're singing pirate style. There's a banjo, Kyrie. But if you like church music humor, or music humor in general, you like this. Now, not everything is musical humor. There's some just general detective humor too, and it's all very silly and very punny. But if you just need a fun, lighthearted read, I would recommend this one. What you think, Emma?
The Upper Womb.
Yes, the name of the Christian massage parlor is the Upper Womb. There's also a Christian nudist camp in here.
Isn't that interesting? And they're going to protest at the festival.
Yes. And then there are the minks with a Q that are a combination of actual minks with South American pucaranas, some little rodent that they are breeding with minks to make a new kind of mink with a Q that makes cheaper fur coats. So, and then there's several new interim rectors. They apparently have a hard time keeping rectors.
One woman quit after she found the guy hanging from the belfry. Understandable.
You just never can tell what you're going to find. So read this book, and then come back and see us again. Till we see you again.
Make sure to make time for tea and a good book. Bye.